Uddhared atmanatmanam natmanam avasadait atmeva yatmano bandhuhur atmeva ripur atmanaha. It means a man should uplift himself by his own self. So let him not weaken this self, for this self is the friend of oneself, and this self is the enemy of oneself. Bhagavad Gita Chapter 6 Verse 5. Man begins to struggle and fight against nature. He makes many mistakes. He suffers. But eventually, he conquers nature and realizes his freedom. When he is free, nature becomes his slave. The self, as we ordinarily understand it, is fluctuating every moment, in spite of its changing nature. However, it is through the self alone we perceive and experience ourselves and the world. The self is the sense of I consciousness or individuality that we all have, though initially our identity is unclear. It is only after a long, sustained effort that we'll be able to realize the true nature of this I. This process is what we call self-transformation. It's not about adding something new to ourselves, but removing the false ideas we have accumulated. The Gita teaches us that this realization is not limited to those who live in monasteries or meditate in silence. Whether you are a student, a professional, a parent, or an artist, this search for the real I is the undercurrent of your existence. Sometimes we pursue it directly through spiritual practices like meditation or studying sacred scriptures. Other times it's indirect. The challenges we face, the relationships we build, the success and failures we encounter, all these experiences quietly push us toward greater self-awareness. But no matter the path, the essence remains the same. The purpose of life is not merely about achieving external goals. It is about understanding who we truly are beneath the layers of identity we have constructed. A healthy mind is a great gain, no doubt. Becoming a well-developed psychological self, however, is but a phase in our evolution. Being a separate, unique individual, though necessary for our growth, is not an end in itself. After all, an individual is a part of nature, which comprises the spectrum of the pairs of opposites. It is an egocentric state of existence and is extremely fragile. At any time, our world can fall apart. As one matures, one's awareness of oneself and the outside world expands. Then we will recognize that we are not isolated, separate beings, but in truth are related to one another. In addition to this, gradually we become aware, though indistinctly at first, of a higher power that is guiding and coordinating our lives. We may call it our higher self or God. Whatever it is, we become conscious of two entities, as it were within ourselves, the lower self and the higher self, the apparent and the real man. As our insight deepens, we will feel progressively an inseparable connection between these two. Thereafter, Self-transformation is gauged by the strengthening of this relationship between the two aspects of self. Ultimately, it is the realization of the one self. This union occurs in two ways. By expansion of consciousness, that is, including others in our lives more and more by leading an unselfish life, and by establishing a connection with the higher self or God within us. As we practice these two exercises, expanding the self and connecting the individual with the higher self, the limitations of the empirical self, attachment, ignorance, and their effects, such as lust and greed, gradually wear out. Veil after veil drops off, and the true I emerges. This process is quickened through spiritual disciplines. In the terminology of the Gita, it is through yoga. Now that we understand the importance of self-discovery, the next question is, how do we actually begin this journey of introspection and self-rise, or we can call it Atmabodh or Tattvabodh? Soon after getting up, one should take a deep breath to feel his or her existence. Think of the new day ahead as the beginning of a new life. Ponder over the origin and nature of life and its purpose. Give a thought to self-existence as a living being. Recall that the self is only a manifestation of the soul. One should also make a small practicable resolution for the day ahead, which will help weeding out some of the shortcomings in one's character or behavior or efforts, and will make him or her a better person. Then leave the bed with a feeling of being filled with new joy and energy. During nights after going to bed at one's sleeping time, one should think as though he or she is in the last phase of life, as though sleep would end lifespan. So it is time to ponder over the good and the bad one did during the day. Thorough introspection is essential for this purpose. One should try to find out where the mistakes or weaknesses, if any, could have been avoided, or where one could have done better in the given circumstances. One should also make a plan for eliminating the evil, the wrong, the shortcomings, and enhancing the good, the right for the next day that would bring a new phase of life after sleep. Keep aside all tensions and worries and sleep well, as if one were no more. Thought of death is a wonderful quick trick that allays ego and all the complexities and problems associated with it. These simple exercises for 5 to 10 minutes every morning and night would help gradual alleviation and elimination of stresses and lead to regularization of one's routine for purposeful and productive use of the day. At the same time, this would calm the mind with new strength and hope. Regular practice of these will also augment one's interest and determination in self-improvement. Just like gold becomes precious after its impurities are removed in fire, our true self shines when we refine our thoughts, actions, and intentions. Every effort we make towards self-refinement is an opportunity to uncover our hidden strengths and embrace our fullest potential. But it doesn't stop there. Alongside removing what no longer serves us, We grow by cultivating kindness, integrity, and wisdom. This dual journey of inner cleansing and self-development is how we transform the raw gold within us into radiant jewels of character and capability. So let's commit to this beautiful process to refine, to grow, and to shine. After all, the greatest treasure we can offer the world is the best version of ourselves.